So hello, Narelle. How are you today?
I'm good, Anita. How are you?
Yes, really good. Thank you. Finally, Victoria's coming out of lockdown, so we're all very excited about homeschooling ending.
Oh gosh, my two have been homeschooling, and you just get used to it. But they're much older. I'd imagine there's be so many people saying thank gosh for the kids to go back to school.
Yeah, it's certainly a relief. So today in this session, we are talking a little bit about yourself, your background, a little bit about the business you've started, the challenges on the way, and where you see the future going. So I want to kick off by saying thank you, Narelle, for taking the time for the chat. And over the last months where we worked together, I learned so much about it. And I guess we both thought it's a great idea to share some of the story a little bit with our audiences. So to kick off, you founded and are the managing director of AiBLE, and AiBLE is an app for everyone who's looking for work. So
Yes.
Tell us a little bit, let's go back a little bit in that. Tell us a little bit what made you embark on the journey. I mean, you had high-flying executive roles before. What made you ditch your very well-paid jobs and kick off the journey into a startup business?
Well, to start with, thank you for doing this with me and being a part of it. To answer your question, the reason why I wanted to do AiBLE is that I just wanted to do something good. I know it sounds basic, but being in corporate jobs, you kind of get lost in the bureaucracy, and I wanted to focus on doing something good for the community. And the thing that I picked up on that was really evident was the discrimination in recruitment. I was mentoring some women at a time, and what astounded me was that these fantastically educated, capable women didn't have the confidence to apply for particular roles as opposed to their male counterparts. And I thought, why? I mean, you couldn't be more qualified. You couldn't have ticked more boxes of their requirements for the role, and they just didn't feel like that they could apply because they didn't tick every single box. And I just thought, it'd be great to be able to create something that would help people's confidence and give them the confidence to apply for roles where they deserve them. So I was at the time single, and I was dating on dating apps. And the way it works is that you basically can sit there and be approached by, someone interested in wanting a date. And I thought, wouldn't that be great if we could make a job app where you can sit there and be approached by the job and saying, I think that you should apply for this role. Wouldn't that be great? It would give people confidence. So that's kind of how it started. And I also wanted to take the discrimination out and give everyone a fair go at competing for that job and not being judged on what they looked like or what they couldn't do, but just have a situation where we could match people to a role that if they can do the job, they should be included in the shortlisting and, help people have better lives. So I was really motivated.
I love it. And, with that story, you're touching on so many points already, which are so close to my heart as well, having, led teams and being a promoter of giving people opportunities and encouraging to step up and own outcomes, even if they don't have 100% of the knowledge yet. It's a huge thing. And combining that with, easy to use apps and easy to use user interfaces and something which is intuitive, I think is absolutely awesome. And the third thing also, right, what you're tapping on is like, well, an interview is not only one-sided. It's not only the candidate or the job, this person who's looking for a job, looking for a candidate, and the one who's, kind of in that position. I always saw interviews as it needs to be a give and a take on both sides.
It's a two-way process. Absolutely. Yeah.
What's the company offering to a candidate and what's the candidate offering to a company, and then is there a match? So
I mean, you hear so many stories where people have applied for hundreds of jobs, and they haven't even had a chance to be heard at all. You know, not even had a chance to give it a go, and then potentially not get it. They've just not even been included. So AiBLE, the purpose of AiBLE is to make sure that everyone is included in the shortlisting, and then the candidates gets a percentage match, like a number. I'm 85% matched, and then they'll know, you know what, I can do this. I can apply or be approached to apply.
Awesome. So if I hear this correctly, AiBLE is the difference of AiBLE is really compared to, you know, traditional kind of job application platforms. Yeah, it is really about, you're not only, I'm not, you know, the person is looking for a job and applying for 100 jobs and I never hear anything back. It actually, the platform takes that hard work out of it and shows me a list of jobs. I'm 85% or 95% or 60%, you know, already a match, and it gives the opportunities for me then to apply or for the company to reach out to me. And do you understand that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. So what we've also done is we've done some skills matching. So what we want to do is suggest other jobs that the person is also able to apply to. So ones that they mightn't think that they're able to apply to. So it's called skills matching. So what you do is you type in the job that you're looking for. It might be, I don't know, a cleaner role or account exec. It doesn't really matter what job. What we then do is suggest other jobs that you're also able to apply based on the skills of that job that you've typed. So that broadens the opportunity for the candidate, and therein broadens the resource pool for the employer to choose from. So we want to maximize people's potential by helping them understand all the roles that they could potentially go for, and also educate people on how to get their dream job. So they mightn't know the education pathways to a particular job. So we've mapped all the education pathways to, I mean, I'm sure we've missed some, but we've pretty much matched every pathway to every job. It's been a lot of years of work. And that's why, you know, 4 years of work. And every time I think that AiBLE's ready for the market, I let it out there a bit, and then we think, oh, hang on, we've got to make sure it's going to cope with, you know, the capacity, you know, the amount of volume, or other technical aspects that we've had to then say, okay, we're not quite ready. We'll keep working on it. We'll redo certain things and make it really work. And that's why it's just taken about 5 different iterations to get to this point where we've now got a workable app that's customized for Australians, Singaporeans and Americans at this point. Now, obviously it's customized for other countries, but that's where our focus is going to be from a marketing. This is where you come in, helping me do all the digital marketing for AiBLE, and your team and yourself have been just amazing. I mean, we've rebranded it. We've got a new look that's a lot more accessible, a lot more professional, and I'm really pleased with our collaboration.
Thank you for the kind words. Really appreciate it, Narelle. And I also, you know, if I hear this story, it's like so much work has gone into this, and you know, we are totally excited because we love you know, see ideas be successful. We love helping organizations go to market and get it out there, you know, getting it in front of the people who really can benefit from a product or from a service a lot. So you say AiBLE takes away discrimination, and you know, there's the tool is kind of doing the matchmaking, but maybe let's drill into there a little bit more. So how exactly does it take away discrimination? Like, how is it different to what's out there at the moment?
You know, it's kind of simple, and this is where I find it kind of amazing. people are anonymous when they use it. So when you're anonymous, there's a lot of things that are going on. Your privacy is protected. You've got a level of comfort that you didn't have before. So you feel comfortable to disclose and answer all the questions honestly and thoroughly. And, you know, just because you are anonymous, it's almost like, you know, we've been masked. We wear masks now. This is a good mask. This is a mask that's going to protect you and your data about you. So you can then not have an employer do a little Google search on your name and make some, you know, assumptions about you based on what they find on the internet, or you know, they look at your Facebook profile or something like that. So because you're anonymous, you are able to compete fairly.
Yeah, I love it. So that takes away any leeway into any type of stereotyping, whether it's age, gender, color, background, which school you went into, whether there's any disability or anything, right? So it's really jobs for everyone,
Yeah, and we've also done some things like we're trying to influence the employers to think a little broadly about, you know, the people that they would think about employing. Now, the way we've done that is we pre-populate some of the questions with answers for the employer to deselect rather than select. And this particular question is the abilities question. So when the employer chooses, answers the ability question, all the abilities are selected. That means they have to think, okay, does it really matter if the person's in a wheelchair? Maybe, maybe not, right? It makes them think about it. Does it really matter if the person can't hear properly or see properly or have autism or whatever it might be? It makes them think about the role and think about including those people with all those different types of abilities. And with the way we term it, it's an ability, because some stereotypical disabilities are actually an ability. Like, for example, with autism, there's a lot of people with autism that have got amazing abilities, better abilities than the neurotypicals. So in terms of the IT industry, employers now are understanding that it's actually an ability they want to employ. Now, how does someone in a company, in an IT role, find people with autism to employ? They can't advertise for people with autism. And just like they can't
by itself.
Well, it's just like they can't advertise for women, right?
Yeah.
Because that in itself is discriminatory against the men or against the neurotypicals, right? So with AiBLE, the way they can find these people, they can do searches on the diversity metrics that we have within the app, and they can find those people.
I love it. And that's why I loved working with you from day one. When we did the walk around the lake and you told me all about your concept, I'm like, this is awesome. I love it. So I think in a way you already answered what's in it for a hiring manager, for a recruiter, for someone who, you know, who genuinely, you know, wants to hire a diverse team. I mean, there's a whole bunch of organizations nowadays to have to fill quotas, but equally there's a lot of people who just want to do the right thing and give everyone a chance. So if I'd be a hiring manager, you know, what's the process, or what's in it for me? Like, how does it make my life easier compared to everything else that's out there?
In short, you can search for the person that you're wanting to hire.
Yeah.
So because we have such detailed information about the candidates in the candidate profile, and then because that's all data that's searchable, you can then search on that specific, you know, requirement that you're looking for and find that person. Now, I mean, right now, AiBLE is just starting out. So, you know, in terms of the volume of candidates that we have on board, it's quite low because we've only just started to be out there in public. When people realise that they can register in AiBLE and be matched to a whole heap of other jobs that are out there, because we've got about, at the moment, we've got about 50,000 jobs in our system that have already been converted into the format ready for matching, right? So then candidates can go to AiBLE and see how they're matched against all those 50,000 jobs.
Amazing.
Now, that's going to help onboard candidates faster and grow our database, our pool of candidates. And then that way, hiring managers will be able to find, you know, instead of searching, like trying to find a needle in a haystack, they'll be able to search for the type of person that they're looking for to round out their team or to join their organisation. From a cultural fit point as well, because we have information about that person's personality and their workplace personality. So as well, so cultural backgrounds and languages and
yeah, I love it. I mean, it's the benefits on both sides are incredibly clear, and you know, it's super exciting time. We're literally about to hit the launch button for the whole online. And
my team just said Google Play has, so Android has updated. Yay.
Awesome.
We're just waiting on Apple to give us the go, and then the App Store for all those iPhones will be updated, but our website is updated already. So we've got the app within the website, at the web app. It's all the same data. So we're on all 3 platforms, iOS, Android and web.
Absolutely amazing. That's great stuff. Super exciting, great time. So now after, you know, 4 years of getting to the point, you know, you as an entrepreneur, you know, having the vision and actually getting it to the point of where, my God, it's ready, let's go. Reflecting on that period, what do you think as a person and as a leader, what were sort of the key challenges throughout that period?
Oh, gosh. Anita, I feel like I've gone through the ringer and back. 4 years of sitting at my desk, working with various teams through all the technical aspects of getting it actually working. I understand why dating apps aren't necessarily that accurate, because the matching algorithms are really hard to get right. You know, so there's been just the resilience of patience, you know, and not taking failures as a personal kind of reflection. It's been more about, okay, well, that's just the way it is. Let's build a bridge and get on with it. Try something else again, you know. Every challenge that we've faced, it's just a matter of thinking through patiently, logically, sticking with our design. Our design hasn't changed. Our design from day one is the same. And I look back on all those design spec variations, and the theory is well, it's fundamentally the same. We've tweaked it because, you know, working with the various different stakeholders, we've worked a lot with employment support providers for disability to really understand the needs of people with disabilities, and making sure that we cater for those needs. Now, you know, every person is an individual with individual needs. So you can't broad brush stroke a solution for everyone, but we hope that we've catered for the majority. So yeah, that's been an enjoyable aspect of the tweaking. The challenges, I think, have been where we've thought, yes, we've got a product that works, and we let it go out in the public, and then we find we have to rewrite it because it's not scalable. I mean, you know, you work on something for 18 months and you think, we're on the right track, it's finally done, and then we find out within a week, no, we actually have to rewrite it from the very beginning.
Oh, wow. And unbelievable.
Then, you know, I mean, keeping our investors happy on that. They've been amazingly patient. And, you know, the main person that's been investing is my dad.
Absolutely phenomenal.
You know, I mean, he's not a wealthy man, and you know, I just can't thank him enough. Just to have the faith in you know, no, Dad, it's not quite ready. You know, it's just been really difficult to it's not been difficult to keep motivated. I've been motivated from day one. So, and I've known that what we're doing is going to work. It's just keeping that energy level up enough to get, you know, to survive 4 years of ups and downs. That's been a challenge. But when you believe in something, you've got to stick to it.
I love it. And, you know, upon, you know, me starting Kyte and, you know, being only very early in the journey, I've been listening to podcasts of entrepreneurs and startups and whatnot, and what you know, to basically identify what kind of personality traits do you have to have in order to make the jump into, okay, let's do this. And I think you summed it up, right? It's sticking to your guns, sticking to your core ideas of why. And of course there will be challenges, right? Everyone tells you that in the beginning, but unless you get to them, you really don't know what the challenges will be and how hard it actually will be. And then being resilient to push through them. And you know, for me, seeing how far you've become in your journey is like absolutely inspirational. I love it. Really good.
Thank you. I mean, I've got to thank Simon Sinek, you know, Mr. The Why. I mean, it's such an easy, simple concept. If you understand why you're doing something, it becomes part of, you know, heartfelt, and you know, you believe in it, and it drives you, and it keeps you going. It keeps you chugging away at those hard times because you know that you believe that it's going to work. That's how it's been from day one with AiBLE.
Love it. Love it. So now that we've spoken about, you know, where the whole idea came from and, you know, what it took to get it to that point, where do you see the future going? What's your vision and ambition for AiBLE?
I want to see people in jobs they didn't think they could do, really contributing to society, but more importantly, feeling really good about themselves as a result. You know, feeling proud about what they've been able to achieve. And, you know, that to me is everything. I don't want to see, you know, people that have been judged and discriminated against packing shelves, for example. I mean, I don't want to demean packing shelves, because the job is a job and it's a good thing. But I want people to maximize what they can do, and really feel confident to go for it, and really be driven to achieve what they can achieve. Right now, I know that sounds very grandiose, but when you're giving an opportunity to be heard and to be included, that's what happens. You know, I mean, you know, I reflect back on my career, and I mean, nowadays things are so much harder. You know, there's a lot of competition out there. I mean, there's a lot of jobs where you have to have the degree and, you know, all the qualifications. I didn't have a good degree when I started. I mean, I don't have all those things, but what I have had, and it's probably because of my upbringing, I've had a lot of confidence. Now, not many people have that confidence. I don't know why. Probably lots and lots of reasons. So part of my, I suppose, you know, technically it's our truth, is that we build confidence. That's what I want AiBLE to do. I want AiBLE to help people build their confidence and go for those jobs that are going to just make them shine.
I love it. And to be honest, I think everyone kind of, I wouldn't say need, but I think everyone will be very happy to get that extra boost of confidence when you're actually out there looking for a job, because it can be daunting, right? If you either you get made redundant or anyhow you're re-looking, and I think there's nothing more scary than putting yourself out there, and the fear of failure, or the fear of, am I good enough? So
I mean, things like, people over the certain age, I mean, they find it really, really hard to be included in these guys are experts. I mean, people that are older, they're wiser. I mean, they should be, they just should be respected in terms of the wisdom that they would bring to a company. Now, adversely, people who are younger, they've got more, objective views. They've got a different perspective. And I think the whole point is that when you employ a team, you should employ a mix of the young, the old, different cultural backgrounds, different abilities, because that's what our population is. We should reflect our population in our workforce. Sorry, I'm
go. It's awesome.
I'm just thinking, when you reflect your population in your workforce, you're also reflecting your customer base. And if you reflect your customer base, you're then speaking the language of your customers, and that means that you can relate better and have better relationships as a result. So the more diverse your workforce, or the more reflective of the population your workforce is, the better customer relationships and the better success.
Love it. And I think, needless to say, everyone knows that by now too, but it's statistically proven again and again and again, diverse teams perform better. Thank you so much, Narelle.
No worries. Thanks so much for listening and being a part of the whole journey.
Likewise, we love working with you. And before we finish off, so anyone who would like to download the app and check it out, look at that link over here. You can just follow the link and go and check it out yourself, and let us know what you think.
Yeah, and if you have any problems or any questions, I am here to answer those questions.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks.
Bye.
Bye.